one of your stories, which I always get you to tell, is about the spam party. Can you tell us that one, please?
Well, if you go to watch Keiko, you really should bring some kind of a gift. So you're going there to watch people train, but you're being invited into the hair. So you don't pay money, but as a sign of respect, you might bring something. So
of course,
if you were a big supporter, you might send them a crate of beer or, 5-10 kilos of beef or something. Well, I couldn't actually do that, but I would, as John mentioned, I would bake things and what have you. Anyway, one time I was going to go to Azumazeki Bear, and Akebono was there, and a Canadian friend was coming. She lived near a place with a big American store, and she said, "What should I bring as a gift?" And I said, "Spam." She said, no, come on, seriously. I said, "No, really, they're Hawaiian. They love Spam." So she took me at my word, and she bought a few cans of Spam, and we went in, and we're sitting there with Akebono, and I've given him some biscuits or something, and she produces this bag, and he looks inside, and there is the cans of Spam, and he was delighted, a big smile on his face, and he shouted out the window to another Hawaiian guy. He said, "Hey, Percy, get your butt in here. We've got Spam." And this face appeared at the window. He was cleaning his teeth. He looked like a dog with hydrophobia, foaming at the mouth. He's going, "Spam." Anyway, next thing, and they were frying up the Spam and slathering it with ketchup and really enjoying their Spam. So you got to know the right gift. Akebono, on the other hand, he really understood that you have to, shall we say, play the game. And a couple of times I remember him where he kind of just had to put aside his true feelings and go with what was needed to be done. One time when he was a new Yokozuna, he was in the elevator with YOBIDASHI, older YOBIDASHI, well-respected, who was saying to him, "Oh, your Yokozuna dohyo is rubbish. You have to do it like this, and you have to move like this, and you shouldn't do that." And he must have been going up a long way, because there was a long diatribe about how and he was a new Yokozuna. Come on. So Akebono said, "Oh, thank you very much. Oh, yes, I understand. Oh, yes, I'll try and do my best. Yes, I understand. Yes, and very humble and very accepting of the guy. And when the doors shut, he said, "If it's so easy, do it yourself." But he would not say that to the YOBIDASHI that he needed to respect. And when we were in London, I think it was, or Canada, must have been Canada. When we were in Canada at the press conference, somebody asked him about, how do you feel about being the first Hawaiian Yokozuna, the first American Yokozuna? And he said, I'm a Yokozuna. I'm not American. I'm not Hawaiian. I'm not Japanese. I'm a Yokozuna. And I thought that's clever. That's diplomatic and tactical. But Asashoryu was a little bit more hard-headed about what he thought, and he was more like the Kyokai should change, whereas Akebono and Musashi Maru were more like, well, this is the way it is, and we won't butt our heads against the brick wall.
And I had pointed out in it that when the merger of Fujishima and Futagoyama Beya happened, and basically they had control of like a lot of top guys, and so TAKANOHANA and WAKANOHANA could avoid their own stable, being that guys for the same hair can't fight each other unless it's a playoff. And same with the other guys in the stable, they didn't have to always go against the Yokozuna, but Akebono did. And so I have noticed that lately, because obviously TAKANOHANA has the reputation of being the greatest Yokozuna of the 90s, being that he got the most championships then and what have you. But a lot of people have now been commenting and messaging me about my video who didn't realise that was the case. So a lot of them are I've kind of helped Akebono's case, but hurted Takanohana's case totally by accident by telling everybody, well, he didn't have to fight half the top division who had Ozeki and top level Maegashira like Takatoriki, and you know what I mean? It was a constant. So, and Akebono did have to fight them also. It was totally by accident.
Well, Akebono and Takanohana, I know that they said they were very grateful to have each other as a rival because it made them try harder.
Yeah.
And in Fukuoka, the two Heya had their temporary residence, not really close, but close enough. And Akebono used to go to practice with Takanohana, but he would have to walk there. Of course, this was before he was a Yokozuna. Mm-hmm. He would have to walk to the other Heya and practice with Takanohana, and then he would have to walk back to his own Heya. And that was after they used to practice so hard that the Oyakata had to make them stop and say, that's enough. You can't practice anymore. So he was really determined. Yeah, they were both determined to use each other to better themselves.
That's great, because when they came out to Australia, I got to interview Akebono for a reporter for the Real Inside Sport, which is an Australian publication, and I asked Akebono about that situation. I go, how do you feel Takanohana doesn't have to fight these eight other guys, I think, at the time? There were 9 of them in Futagayama there. And Akebono, I don't care. I just fight them all. Doesn't bother me. And then I was at the press conference and I'm practicing in Japanese how to ask ask Takanohana. And I just got too nervous because I was like, do you think you'd really be no, I wasn't going to say, but do you think you'd really be where you are if you didn't have to fight all these other formidable opponents in the same stable?
Well, that was quite an issue at the time that there were so many high-ranked Makuuchi guys in the one Heya. But historically, at one stage, Dewa no Umibear was really top-heavy, and so in the end, it kind of works itself out.
The Hawaii boys came in. We had a real Hawaii era. We were just sending so many guys. And, Takayama kind of started it, and for sure, he definitely led that whole charge. Right. But then Konishiki came along, and we'd sent 3 or 4 boys before Konishiki went, and they did pretty good, but they didn't get way up there. And then Konishiki went, and boom, he went way up there.
Aye.
And then really Akebono came by. Jesse made it to Sekiwake. Mm-hmm. And then Konishiki made it to Ozeki, and then Akebono. Yeah, they always say Jesse opened up the door, Konishiki climbed the stairs, and Akebono stepped into the grand room. Right. Hawaii, it's kind of amazing. The island, all these guys came from the island of Oahu. The island of Oahu back then had about 800,000 people. Tokyo has 20 million people. Tokyo has had professional sumo for 100 years. These guys have never even knew what it was growing up in high school. Maybe they had heard the name Takayama, but that was it. I mean, they had nothing to do with it. They go over there cold, and in 6-8 years, we've got 2 Yokozunas and Ozeki, a bunch of other Sekitori. Like, what the? And Tokyo's going, wait, we haven't had a Tokyo Yokozuna in 25 years, and we got 20 million people, and we have sumo in high school and junior high and college and men's amateur, and it's just, Hawaii just blew the world apart, and the Hawaiians, everybody in Hawaii, whether you're Japanese, Korean, it didn't matter. Everybody was a Japanese sumo fan by then. And just any party you went to, the kids in school, and people knew I was involved in sumo a little bit. So all of a sudden, instead of me being that silly guy that wears a diaper and all the fat boys, all of a sudden like, oh, John, can you come talk to us about this? Tell us, hey, what did Akebono say to that? Well, how come? So people like, all of a sudden, sumo went from being this little oddity to like, oh my God, this is amazing. And everybody had sumo pictures on their wall. It was almost a religious involvement in Hawaii. It was really, really fun. And I got to be here and kind of surf that wave. I was just the right place at the right time in the history. Had I been born 10 years earlier or later, I would have just been a nobody and just got, like everybody else, just had a nice life. But I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. The first blonde-eyed, blue-eyed guy, and now I would be nothing at any of these tournaments. People say, "Yeah, there's that old putt guy, you know. But it just timing is everything in life.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. And by now, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, hit that bell. Oh, what a nugget!